Welcome to Jesse Watters Primetime. I'm Pete Hegseth in on this summer Friday night. I know what you're thinking. Last night, we witnessed one of the most disturbing scenes in American history. The President of the United States, Joe Biden, standing before a dictatorial-like backdrop with troops standing at the ready, screaming with his fists in the air. And he called half the country a threat to our republic.
We must be honest with each other and with ourselves. Too much of what's happening in our country today is not normal. Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Uncle Joe, the guy who campaigned on saving the soul of America, has made it clear that to him, this is extremism at its peak. Remember that? If you've waved an American flag, chanted "Let's go Brandon," or even danced to YMCA, you are an extremist. You're a fascist, and you live a life of darkness and chaos.
A nation of fear, division, and of darkness. MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. But together we can choose a different path. We can choose a better path forward to the future. A future of possibility, a future to build and dream and hope.
I don't remember MAGA rallies being so dark. We just showed you a clip of one right there. Sorry, wrong side. And it looked like a pretty good time. I've been to many. They are a good time, a celebration of America. Maybe Joe Biden would have been a little more convincing if he wasn't standing in front of, a creepy blood-red backdrop straight out of Soviet Russia. You can only imagine how he must have felt after staring at it for over 20 minutes.
I'm on no sleep. No sleep. You don't know what it's like in there. All night long, things are creaking and cracking, and that red light is burning my brain.
You look a little stressed.
Oh, I'm stressed.
But Joe Biden did deliver some news last night. We learned from him that Republicans are now the party of lawlessness. Now, I know what you're thinking, but hear it for yourself.
MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people.
Now, the Orwellian backdrop may be giving me some amnesia, but I'm pretty sure he's been on the side of defunding the police, letting criminals out through bail reform, open borders, right? I guess facts don't really matter when democracy is on the line. That's why Biden's calling his supporters to get tough and stand up for democracy.
Blood alone moves the wheels of history. It has been a lifetime struggle, a never-ending fight. It is a privilege to fight. We are warriors.
Come on, producers. That was, of course, the wrong clip, but it's not too far off from the real one.
For a long time, we've told ourselves that American democracy is guaranteed, but it's not. We have to defend it, protect it, stand up for it, each and every one of us.
A little insurrection. He kind of sounds like he's calling for an insurrection. He's obviously not holding it back. If you're not on his side, you're the problem. You deserve the worst. You are the enemy. And if you don't think he's talking about you, you'd be wrong. His press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, just yesterday said, if you're not on their side, the right side of history, their favorite dystopian phrase, you're extreme. But if we're so bad, then why did Senator Chuck Schumer just spend over $3 million on the MAGA movement today? His super PACs have been pumping money to help America First candidates win their primaries. Sounds like Democrats love spending money on people they call fascists. I'm sorry, the fact checkers at CNN would like to correct the record.
He talked about a MAGA philosophy, a semi-fascism of MAGA philosophy. He didn't say Republicans were fascists.
Maggie
he did
Hassan
not
even
call
said
Republicans fascists. He said he compared the MAGA philosophy to semi-fascism. He did not call all Republicans fascists. That's just not true. I'm sorry. It's not true.
It's just not true. Thank you, Don. So we'll correct the record. You're just a semi-fascist if you voted a certain way, kind of like being a semi-pregnant birthing person. But don't worry, according to the White House, none of this at all is political. It's really all for democracy.
If you could address the criticisms and the questions about why the president delivered what sounded very much like a politically charged speech as an official White House event, taxpayer funded, with 2 Marines in uniform.
Standing up for democracy is not political.
I just have to say it again. We are not a democracy. We are a republic, a constitutional republic. But, you know, details. Democracy is the catchword they use for everything they want to get done. Well, at least KJP remembered last night's speech. The president, on the other hand, seems to have forgotten everything he read off of his teleprompter. Here's him today.
Mr. President, do you consider all Trump supporters to be a threat to the country?
Keep trying to make that case. I don't consider any Trump supporter to be a threat to the country.
I don't consider any Trump supporters a threat. I just talked about all MAGA Republicans, but I don't think any Trump supporters are a threat. It's astonishing. But can we really blame Joe Biden for not remembering? The highlight of his night wasn't being a defender of democracy. It was getting a kiss from the missus.
Democracy. Thank you.
Which way do I turn? Which way? Is this mic on? Was that kiss good? Everybody? We don't think Joe Biden had a change of heart. What Joe Biden said last night is exactly what the Democrat Party thinks of us. Former CIA Director Michael Hayden, you know this, said said exactly what Democrats have always thought of God-fearing Americans, Trump supporters. That they're more dangerous than a terrorist group, worse than Al-Qaeda and ISIS. You name it. Why? Well, because we love this country. You're now a fascist if you want free speech. You're a threat if you want a say in what's taught in your kid's classroom. Imagine that. Or if you believe in your Second Amendment right to defend yourself and your family. You're an extremist if you take a stand against Fauci's authoritarian mask mandates. And you're certainly a racist if you don't want an open border. Talk about chaos. Or criminals running the streets. We could keep going on and on all program. You see, they call us all of these things because we don't agree with them. They have turned the patriotic opposition into treasonous outlaws, even if they try to deny it the next day, because we stand for freedom, and that's the problem. But we know last night's speech, it was just deflection. It's the Democrats and Joe Biden who seek to run an authoritarian regime. I mean, I stand corrected, a semi-authoritarian regime.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.